She was wearing another woman's wedding dress, a stranger's heirloom, lace from the 1940s that once carried someone else's dreams down the aisle, and now sat draped across a body that didn't carry the family name. And when she posted the photo, just one photo, the internet exploded because someone recognized the dress. Someone who claimed it wasn't hers to wear. That someone? The granddaughter of the woman who had owned the house before. A house she and her family had sold. A house they hadn't set foot in since the day they slammed the door shut. Behind a mountain of rot, waste, and silence. But let's go back. Before the dress, before the post, before the war on social media. Let's go back to May of 2018. She was 26, ambitious, and maybe a little reckless. But mostly, she was hopeful. The kind of hopeful that lets you walk into a hoarder house, gag on the first breath, and still see possibility through the stench. The house was massive. 6 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, but you couldn't open a door more than 8 inches. Some rooms were packed from wall to wall, floor to ceiling, layers of junk and heartbreak stacked like sediment, a living fossil of one woman's life. The woman who had owned it, dead now, her family. Too overwhelmed to deal with the wreckage, so they sold it. As is, the contract said, which meant every rotting pillow, every rusted spoon, every brittle memory sealed in moldy boxes. She signed on the dotted line, not just for the house, but for everything inside it. For the next 4 years, she gave up her weekends. She wore protective gear, spent hundreds on PPE after one infection left her coughing for a month. She paid out of pocket to remove asbestos from the attic, hauled out bags of decomposing waste from the kitchen. The job was brutal, but she didn't just throw things away. She combed through every box, every drawer, every cracked suitcase, because she wanted to know what this woman, this stranger, had clung to until the very end. And in between the filth, she found fragments of beauty. She found Christmas ornaments with names hand-painted in shaky cursive, children's artwork, water-stained but still intact, old letters, family photos, a life slowly reassembled from ruin. She reached out to the heirs, found them online, sent a message. "I found some things that might matter to you." She didn't have to. She just felt it was the right thing to do. She returned ornaments, photographs, mementos that would have been lost forever. And maybe that was her first mistake, because it gave them the idea that what she found still belonged to them. But there was one thing she didn't return. One thing she hadn't even uncovered yet. It was buried, carefully, intentionally, like it had been protected even when everything else was falling apart. A wedding dress, not just any dress. A 1940s lace gown, lovingly preserved in its own garment bag. Yellowed, but still whole, still sacred, and it was beautiful. Not in a trendy, Pinterest board way, but in a way that felt timeless. Real. She spent months restoring it. Tiny repairs, gentle cleaning, no big alterations, just reverence. And when she tried it on, something clicked. She wasn't even in a relationship. But if she ever got married, this would be the dress. So she took a photo. One photo. Posted it to her private Facebook, which had only close friends. But she had forgotten something. Actually, someone. One of the heirs, the granddaughter, had been added years ago when she needed to coordinate pickup for the ornaments and photos. The woman saw the post and recognized the dress. She messaged her, asked for the dress back, asked for the jewelry too. Pieces that had been stashed in the back of an old drawer, nearly thrown out with a pile of crumbling receipts. The woman said no. She had bought the house, bought everything in it. She had spent years, cleaning, restoring, preserving. They hadn't asked for the dress before. They hadn't even remembered it existed. Now they wanted it back? The granddaughter didn't take that well. Neither did her family. They began posting publicly, accusing her of parading around in their grandmother's heirlooms, calling her heartless, a thief. Comments poured in, some sympathetic, others cruel, some calling her out for flaunting a dead woman's memories, others defending her labor, her blood, sweat, and thousands of hours. The irony? If she had never reached out about the other items, they would never have known. If she had thrown everything in a dumpster, no one would have questioned her. But she hadn't. She had chosen to care, and now she was being punished for it. She thought about giving it back, for a moment, but the way they came at her, it wasn't about love, it was about entitlement. They had 4 years to ask, 4 years to show up, and now, because she had taken something broken and made it whole, they wanted it back? No, not anymore. Even if they offered money, 5 times what it was worth, she wouldn't hand it over, because that dress had become something more than lace and thread. It had become a symbol of what it means to do the work when no one else will, of what it costs to care. So, am I the asshole? What does it really mean to own something? Is it the receipt in your hand, or the hours you spent saving it? Is it bloodline, or blood, sweat, and tears? This story cuts deep because it's not just about a wedding dress. It's about labor, emotional, physical, moral. It's about doing the dirty work when everyone else walks away, and then being told you don't deserve the reward. Sometimes kindness can blur the lines. She returned their photos. She tried to do the right thing, but instead of gratitude, she got grief. This story challenges us to ask, what would you do? Would you keep the dress or give it back? Drop your thoughts below. And if you've ever cleaned up someone else's mess, literally or emotionally, this story's for you. You deserved more than a thank you. You deserved peace. Until next time, this is AITA Stories, where the drama is real and the lines are never clear.